So how are we kicking this thing off today? I think we're talking about learning platforms, aren't we?
We are, and we have a couple polls. We're going to put out one of the polls because I wanted to get a sense for who we're talking to. So Stephanie's got 2 polls. Let's do the first one, Stephanie or Mark, whoever's bringing that up.
All right, I will launch it right now. And you can click right on the screen. I'll give everybody a couple minutes to answer that before I share the results.
What is your experience with a learning platform? A, I've never used one. B, I have one and I love it. C, I have one and I hate it. D, what's a learning platform? And E, I'm in the market. Maybe you don't have one, but you're looking to buy one.
Hey, Christian, while they're filling out the form, what are the rules of Zoom here? Am I allowed to use the Zoom camera live to fix my hair in the middle of a recorded session? I feel like that I'm going to need to do that.
I feel like I should mess mine up to kind of match yours.
A poll on that? How about a poll on that? Can I fix my hair using the camera in Zoom?
All right, everyone, you can in the chat let Andrew know what the proper Zoom etiquette is for his hairstyle today. And I'm going to launch our first real poll results.
Dean Ross is judging me.
Oh, look at that. So the majority of the people who have responded have one. They have a learning platform. And most of them are more on the side of I love it. There was one comment in the chat saying we don't love it, but we like it. And then we've got some, I have one and I hate it. So 50% I have one and I love it. 29% I have one and I hate it. 2%, what's a learning platform? 4%, I've never used one before. And 16%, I'm in the market. All right, so in the chat, what do you love about your learning platform? You said you love it. What do you love about it?
And while everybody's typing those comments in the chat, Andrew, I just want to let you know that someone did say that you are allowed to check your teeth in the Zoom camera. I don't know if that's like a hint that, you know, maybe one of you guys needs to, or if it's just, for future reference.
Well, one guy here did say I should just be bald and I don't have to worry about my hair. That's coming quickly, you guys. I don't think I need to try and expedite that process.
All right, we are getting some real comments about LMS. Functionality, being able to pull education records for all staff, scalability, being able to create your own reports. Someone says, I love logging out of it. Hate the thing.
Logging out of it.
You know, it's the little things in life.
Customizable,
complex assignments,
easy for the users, student dashboards.
I'm a little confused that some of this might be about LMS and some of it might be about your hair still. Flexibility and accessibility, customizable. I'm just saying, I'm going to put that out there. Scalability.
Scalable hair, yeah.
I'm concerned.
Simple, user-friendly, good volume, yes, yeah. Okay, it might be about my hair, Christian, so I don't think anyone has comments about learning platforms. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, I think you're right. So we've got scalability. I can create my own reports. All right, Kristen Carnahan, the platform we use is specialized to our industry. What's your industry?
Healthcare.
Healthcare.
Healthcare. Mobile accessible. My love with my LMS is like the meme that they watch, the other goes. What's the #1 reason, Andrew, that people buy and implement a learning platform? What do you think the #1 reason is?
My guess is that they have to host their learning. They need to host it and get it out there and assign it to users. I'm guessing.
Do we have a bell or a cha-ching mark or any sort of sound? Ding, because that's definitely one of them. I need a place. Thank you.
I'll be that guy for you.
Whatever sound you need.
You're as good as vocal point. So I got to have a place to host my content. Absolutely. Reason #2, someone in the chat. What's another reason that you would have a learning platform in addition to having a place to host your content. Need for analytics, regulatory, records. Yep, absolutely. Reporting. Man, those are 4 great ways to say really the key thing. Like, you could put your stuff out onto a network share, you can post it onto YouTube and push it out on Slack and send it out via email, but you really need visibility into what people are doing and learning records. And so that's absolutely a place to put my content and some sort of analytics and reporting. Third reason, anybody. Allow learners to pull information instead of pushing it. So that's what, when you talk about learning experience platforms, that's part of, I think that falls into that vein there. The ability to go and get the things that I need when I need them to do my job. I like this, Troy. It's about showing people the benefit of being on the site. How will what they see there make their job easier? Ricardo says assessments and personalization of knowledge acquisition. So one of the things that, you know, we tend as a society to go to the new and to kind of throw out the old. We want the new thing. There's always a better way of doing things, a newer way of doing things, and something that was in the past maybe isn't the best way. And to some degree, that's true. We're always advancing as a technology. And so in the learning platform world, people are often talking about a learning management system, a learning experience platform, and now more recently, a talent development platform. I'm going to throw this at you, Andrew. What's the difference between a learning management system, a learning experience platform, and a talent development platform?
Well, they're all spelled differently. They're my understanding, Christian, I'm not the expert here on learning platforms. However, a lot of times when I hear at least of learning experience platforms, and man, that's still sticking up the back there, everyone. That's embarrassing. If I keep my chin up, just like my mom said, keep your chin up, then everything will be good. But learning experience platforms, my understanding is they have a lot of the new functionalities, more than just hosting and reporting on learning and all of that. But it's really one of the big features about sucking in content from all the different sources out there, right? And being able to aggregate content. The ability to maybe more engage the learner in their own customizable journeys. So the ability for these platforms to aggregate that data, but then also kind of spit it out in customized journeys and not have everyone going through the same experience. The ability for organizations to go out there and have the people actually, employees build their own learning snippets and share that with others. So the ability to have more of a social aspect in their learning world. At least that's my understanding of LXPs. How that differs from talent platforms, I'm going to go out on a limb here since it's not exactly my world, but I'm guessing that's going to be a more broad platform, maybe that ties in with recruiting and some of the other aspects of maybe performance management and reviews and things like that.
Kristen's helping you out in the chat. She says career path. Absolutely.
Oh, I like that.
Hey, Stephanie, go ahead and put up the second poll while I'm asking this other question. The second poll is going to ask you what your role is in your company. And while you're responding to that, I'll give you my take on LMS, LXP, and TDP now. LMS was more traditionally about the top-down learning. You've got some compliance, you've got some regulation, or you want to make sure that your people are getting the training that they need. And so you've implemented really a top-down learning system in your organization to be able to disseminate content, to track it, and to report on it. Learning experience platform to some degree is kind of in response to that, saying, well, learners have things that they're interested in, and learners should be involved in their own development and their own learning plan. And we should have self-directed learning models at play in our organization. And not only is that going to help the learners with their skill sets, but it also is going to help them with motivation and that opportunity to grow. And so a lot of times an LXP is going to include content that's not only relevant to their job now, but relevant to where they want to go in their career path, and maybe even things outside of that. talent development platform isn't so different from either of those two, but it's focused more primary. It's more about who's delivering it and what their goals are. And it's more about developing skill sets or capabilities for specific jobs within the organizations. So, all right, did we get some answers on here?
Yeah, we're getting a lot of answers. I will share those results on the screen,
So
and then
who
we're
are
also
we
getting some
talking to?
comments in the chat from people whose answer wasn't one of the options.
Yeah, fantastic. So executive senior management, LMS administrator, instructional designer, trainer, and other. Got the bulk here is IDs, LMS administrator, senior management, and other. And some of the others, Stephanie, what are they?
All right, so we've got some people saying outside of the executive roles, their role is everything else in the poll. So they're definitely juggling a lot of hats. A lot of learning experience designers, senior L&D consultant, LMS content development and implementations, senior training analyst, trainer and ID, and LMS admin all in one. So got a lot of people who are covering a lot of bases.
Isn't that the truth? Yeah, there's so many times you're wearing a lot of hats. You're adminning the LMS, you're putting your content in, you're running the reports, you're doing face-to-face training. So, okay, time check. Mark, how much time do we have on our schedule here? When do you need to move forward?
Yeah, you're good, buddy. You got about 7 more minutes.
7 minutes. Okay, great. So given these choices, I've got a learning management system, a learning experience platform, talent development platform, and there are actually a bunch of other acronyms out there as well. What should you buy? And a lot of you have a learning platform of some type already. What did you buy and how did you choose whether you needed an LMS, an LXP, or talent development platform or other? Go ahead and put into the chat what you bought and why you decided that was the right solution for you. Course mill.
Affordable.
Affordable.
That is always an important piece there.
I think you just edited that comment. I think you said affordable.
Well, I'm using just updated language. I've moved on to words that have like 7 letters now occasionally.
All right, we've got another one, LMS now, but our company seems to be moving toward a talent development platform to support hiring and retention. I wasn't involved with the choice. I'm going to talk about that one in a minute. Course mill, using a custom LMS with a vendor LRS.
Hey, Christian, on that one comment, wasn't involved in the choice. I think that happens a lot nowadays, right? You come into an organization or some other department buys one and you kind of get stuck with it, good or bad. I think that's an interesting thing, a trend that we're seeing right now, though, is that a lot of these newer platforms and maybe some of, let's say, niche platforms, they integrate really well with the larger systems that these companies might have in place. So it does seem like integration and kind of layering platforms on top of each other, but having kind of a central place to tie all that into is becoming incredibly popular.
Yeah. And it looks like there are at least a few people who are saying I wasn't involved in the decision or I wasn't consulted on the decision. A lot of times an LMS of choice for your company is just kind of put on you. Now also have LXP degreed with some total. We have a legacy LMS. We're looking for a new LMS. I don't think anyone considered an LXP. So there's a lot of choices. And here's one thing I've been in the learning platform space almost 20 years now. Did a little bit of work even before that, before really learning platforms were much of a thing. But what I've seen over and over again is people go out shopping for a learning platform. I need an LMS or I need an LXP. And a lot of times they'll go online and they'll pull down a requirements doc that they can use for an RFP. It's going to have a whole bunch of things that you should be able to do from an administrator perspective and a whole bunch of things you should be able to do as a learner or as a coach or as a mentor. And they'll take those and they'll throw them on vendors, and vendors will come back and they'll respond to them. Yes, we have this. No, we don't. We're working towards it. We can do that with the customization. And then your team is going through that process of now evaluating all those responses, choosing vendors to come in and give you demos and tell you how they're going to be able to meet your needs. You're going to buy the platform. One of the problems with that is that ends up putting you in a position where you're really looking at lists of features to buy your platform, which, you know, it has some merit. A better way to think about it, though, is what are the use cases that you need to solve for? And also, as you're making that decision as a company, it ought to be something that involves a lot of people, not just one department, not just a single individual or a small team, but you really want to branch out and get cross-functional. Your sales teams, your product teams, your customer service teams, what are their needs related to a learning platform? If you can involve them in the decision, you can identify, here are stakeholders, and these are the key use cases that each one of them needs to solve for. Then you can identify more about not what is the learning platform that we're considering have, but what do we need to do with it? What do we need to get out of it? And as you develop that, one of the things, John Toda, who's going to be on here shortly today, he and I have done several webinars around running a proof of concept. So we sometimes say, instead of RFPs, do POCs. And what that means is get with your vendor and stand up an instance of that learning platform and run a 4-week or 6-week exercise where you're actually putting content into the system, delivering it to learners, or they're able to choose it, or it's being assigned or recommended to them, and go that full loop and see whether or not it's working for you. All right, we've got a lot of comments coming in here still. Dion Curtis, I'm on 5th LMS, I think. I can relate to that process, painful. And you do have to consider end users, admins, and reporting. During demos and RFP, RFI, vendors will tell you their product will do anything, but that is not the case. What are some of the gotchas? For people who have stood up a learning platform and you've gone through that implementation process and the vendor assured you it's going to do everything, what are some of the specific, oops, it doesn't actually do that you've run into?
Christian, I like your comment on doing a proof of concept. I think, hey, we all love salespeople. However, I think, sometimes it's a lot of, yes, it can do that. Yes, it can do that. Yes, it can do that. But I think running that proof of concept, Christian, can really help you actually put, rubber to the road. Let me see this happening. How does it work? Is it as easy as I thought it would be to do that? And can potentially maybe help us avoid some of those issues.
Yeah, even with the best intentions, going from hypothetical to actual is going to allow you to validate whether or not it can really do it. So we have one comment, not yet technically compatible with the organization. Yeah, a lot of times people are wanting to integrate with this system or that system, and it's just not possible, or it doesn't go as smoothly as you thought it would. A lot of times the platform is powerful, but the end user interface is garbage. Sometimes it's easy for the learner to use, but from an administrative perspective, it's a nightmare. So if Craig Weiss were on here, which he was going to be on here, he got sick and wasn't able to join us. That's one of the things that he and I talk about a lot. He often says, why don't people spend more time and pay attention to the administrative interface? They're users too, and that experience ought to be a good one.
I'm going to bring our dear friend, Peter Getchell, to the screen. Peter, we have an award to give away today, buddy. Are you there, Peter?
I've heard. Super excited about this award.
The floor is yours, sir.
Can you hear me fine, Mark? We
got you. Yes, sir.
Perfect. Well, I am very honored to be announcing this award to, it's our first award of this nature. This is our amped up to 11. Crank that amp up all the way above 10, all the way to 11. And this amped up to 11 award, it's going to our client Brink's. And they've gone above and beyond incorporating our eLearning Brothers solutions to build it all into their eLearning protocol. And they've basically, gone from 300 times users over the last year inside the Rockstar Learning platform, been building out some amazing learning experiences to their audiences across the world, basically. And they do amazing award-winning type of activities and authoring within our Scenario VR tool, which is huge in security, able to provide them to do so many great things. we appreciate their adoption of the platform and CVR. I just want to provide this amped up to 11 award to Annie and Mark, who are on the call as well. I don't have the physical, award, but I think someone does in their possession.
Andrew's got it.
Andrew's got it. They're going to box it up and send it over to you. All the great things Annie, Mark, Megan, the whole team have been doing. I want to offer you this award and thank you for your partnership on this initiative.
Well, thank you, Peter. Thank you so much. But before I start with with my speech, I want to say, Andrew, I'm always fixing my hair using the camera. So I do it all through our meetings. Ask Mark every time we're on team meeting. I'm always like fixing my hair, looking at myself. So
you look amazing today. You look like a rock star.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, and you look amazing too, especially with
Mark,
that
you look
wig.
good too, Mark. Sorry, I didn't mean to leave you out. I see you now.
I look more like you, Andrew, when you take the wig off. So,
Yeah.
Mark, you look amazing.
So basically, just want to say how honored we are here at the, to accept this award on behalf of our Brink's Global Learning Team. We're a small, mighty team. And we've got great partners across the world where we offer our services to. And so one of our services is this fantastic learning platform that you guys have. So originally, when we wanted to get the platform, Peter remembers, where we talked about offering, a learning platform for countries that didn't have a local LMS. But now it's morphed into some countries are now replacing their local LMS because they love the Rockstar Learning platform so much. And also there's some countries are using it for special projects. So they do have their local LMS, but use the Rockstar Learning platform for just a small group of people, just to make it more engaging and interactive. And so basically the feedback that we get is because they love the look and feel, the easy to use. They like the interaction that they can have with their users. And also the one thing they really appreciate is being able to add their own banner. So they love that. And then sometimes we even see there's a little competition between which countries or region have the best banner. So that's been really, really interesting to see. So really, what we want to say, just a special thanks to all of you at eLearning Brothers, because you guys are fantastic to work with. Special thanks, of course, to Peter, our mighty account manager that's always directing us to the right person when we do have to resolve some issues. So I just want to say we appreciate you very much, Peter, for all you do for us. Want to also say, I will also say thank you to Carlene. Carlene has been our expert, our platform guru. She's so patient with us. And I always want to say, thank you to always teaching us the same things over and over again and still being patient with us. Because I feel like we're always like, okay, we need to ask Carlene, right? And even our customers out in the, in the countries know Carlene. So that's a great thing for us too, because they really feel they have a support. So. And then Christian and team, especially Veronica, that helped us customize our user interface in the Latin countries to change the language from English to Spanish for users. That's been big for us, and that's helped us push the learning platform in all of those Latin countries that need it. So, and now I'm going to turn it to Mark to talk a little bit about our VR experience.
Yeah, so thanks, Annie, and thanks everybody at eLearning Brothers. It's been an amazing experience. I've been with Brink's about 6 months now, full time, and I was doing freelance prior to that for them. And I actually met John Blackman at a user conference, probably 2018 or so, and that's the first time I saw Scenario VR and absolutely fell in love with the product. I knew right away, just from being in the training space for many years, that it was a tool that was similar to other tools out there on the market to be able to create e-learning. And this was a tool to create virtual reality very easily. So I just want to thank the entire team for putting that product together. We've made some amazing courses with it, and we have a whole catalog of courses coming forward that we're going to be developing using Scenario VR. So just thank you so much for everyone. Just a quick shout out also to Cheryl in support for Scenario VR. She helped us through some tricky times at the very beginning, but everything is running super smoothly now. And also thanks to Kristen for just kind of guiding us in the direction that we're going with everything that we do at Brinks. And just love you guys. Looking forward to many years of a relationship with using your products.
Cool, that's great. Well, I appreciate that. Anything you want to share or show, or your?
Yeah, I have a couple things.
Sure. Give people a visual of what you're talking about. I know there's some pretty awesome things you could, produce and deliver in there, but if you have anything you want to show off and get some accolades for.
We can't show a whole lot with Brink because it is so secure, but I will show you a couple screen captures. So can you guys see that?
Yeah.
So Annie, do you want to talk about this one real quick?
Yeah, so this is where we've got the customization for the users, right? Where instead of English, all the buttons are in Spanish. So this was huge. And of course, this is the banner that they have and very proud of. So this is where it's all started with this is our client in Mexico. And so now they're setting the bar for all of the other countries and regions that want to put their content or have their own page on this platform. So yeah. And
they just had a couple quick screen captures.
They're very proud. They're very proud of having that customization.
That's cool. Yeah, and John and I are going to talk a lot after this about that whole enterprise experience capabilities, building that learner experience. And Pan America did a really good job with that.
Yeah, they did.
Americano.
And then this is just I just have two screenshots from Scenario. So this is one of our more recent ones that we've done. We train our frontline employees to go out and actually service different pieces of Brink's equipment. So this is just an outside shot. I don't have it in the 360 view here, but if I were wearing a headset, I could turn around and see the building behind me that he's going to be walking into. One of the best things I love about Scenario VR is the capability of putting buttons and call outs and everything on the screen where we can ask questions. I just recently developed the drag and drop interaction, which has been a tremendous help to the people that are actually using the VR. And then this is actually one of our first ones that we ever did. This was inside of an office where we did a simulation of a messenger, delivering some things to a customer. So same type of thing. We can build these very quickly. It's very inexpensive to get started with this, believe it or not. The camera I use is like $500. You need that and a tripod and some standard video editing equipment, and then or software, I should say, and then Scenario VR, and you can put together some amazing things with that tool. So.
And it's a shame we can't show all of this great work because of security reasons. We would love to be able to show everything, but because it's really great and our customers are really loving it and pushing for more. So we're, poor Mark.
And we actually want to start using VR for other things now too, like soft skills training, communications type training, just for managers and their employees, how to speak to an employee properly, things like that. So we have a lot of great things coming down the pike.
Yeah, even for recruiting, if I can add to that. Yeah, so even for recruiting of, showing a little bit of what the job entails too, so it's been really great.
Excellent.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's perfect. Excellent. Congratulations again, and
thank you.
Look forward to seeing more stuff.
Thank you so much.